Inductions. What a bunch of pyrotechnics once again. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, I want to say, yeah, this doesn't look like my usual setup. That's because it's not. I'm not exactly home. Currently in a hotel room here at Newport News, Virginia. But at the same time, it's still December 1st, and every December 1st, you know what happens. It is the 6th annual Optimistic Award Show involving the 3rd Optimistic Hall of Fame class. And I am very excited to be here. I hope you like my CM Punk shirt. It's in place of what usually is my suit and tie. I know I've not exactly wore it in a couple of years, but who knows? I could bring back the good-looking suit in next year's Optimistic Award Show. And that's okay, though. But until then, folks, I want to let you guys know I'm not doing this alone. For the first time ever in the Optimistic Awards history, I have a co-host. So, allow me to introduce him. 2016 Optimistic Army, at the time, Member of the Year. 2020 Optimistic Hall of Famer, and the guy who's won pretty much the most awards in Optimistic Awards history. Please welcome my brother, Long Neck Josh.
What is up, guys? I am back on the channel. Of course, the vlog is also there.
The vlog, of course, of AEW was fantastic.
Of course, but you know, it's great to be back on another video. It's great to be here co-hosting the 2021 Optimistic Awards. It is an honor, and I thank you for having me.
Absolutely, bro. Look at this guy. If you guys, aside from that vlog, have not seen him in about a year, and he's still looking better than ever. Maybe except for the facial hair. Get rid of that, please.
Well, we're recording this in November, obviously, and it's No Shave November. I'm actually going to make a donation.
It's actually not November.
It's No Shave November.
Yeah, very nice. Okay. But it's great to be here. Josh, before we get started on the awards and the whole thing that we got this time, what did you think when I contacted you and asked you to be a co-host for this show?
You know, honestly, I was shocked at first, because you usually you usually host these things alone. And it was a big deal to me because, well, you haven't exactly had a co-host for this, so the honor of being the first one is amazing. And, you know, I was shocked. That was my overall reaction.
Yep, but it's always good to be here. You were the first ever Optimistic Army Member of the Year and the headliner of the 2020 Optimistic Hall of Fame class. It feels like only yesterday, even though it was actually 2 years ago, it feels like only yesterday that I announced you as a headliner for a Hall of Fame class the following year.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was. And the reason this guy's been gone off is because, like I mentioned last year, he's been going off on his own to college. And his future is looking great.
Indeed.
But the future is later. Right now, as we all know, 2022 is going to be outstanding. It's great to finally stand alongside my brother. Neck as long as ever, as always. Embrace it! You have to embrace the neck. Because if you don't embrace the neck, the Maracle Man will kill you. Okay, you can stop posing.
What?
I didn't ask you to pose all night long.
Alright, one more time for the viewers. Okay, we're good.
Ow! You're an idiot. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this.
Anyways, we have a great show lined up for you guys. Plenty of awards, plenty of Hall of Fame inductions. Christian, what do we have coming up first?
Well, honestly, we're actually kicking things off with an Optimistic Hall of Fame induction. I came up with this idea in 2019 when I decided, aside from just doing awards, I would also have put in an addition to make things more spicy. Spice things up. And honoring those who have honestly done everything they could throughout the year to ensure that optimism remained alive even in the worst of situations. Josh, of course, was inducted into the headliner last year, and I will be honest, there were times throughout this year where he had rough times, and he made sure to always keep the optimism alive.
That is very true.
And these first two inductees of the Optimistic Hall of Fame actually have proven a lot, not just to themselves, but also to me over the years, including in 2018, when they almost took part in my Exiled series. First off, man, the Exiled series, how great was that?
Man, it seems like just yesterday we were doing it.
Yeah, we spent an entire year in character, somewhat being away from each other, not really liking each other, because I walked away from him and walked away from everything.
I mean, even on Twitter, I don't think we were following each other at the time, or...
Yeah, it was pretty difficult to do that.
It was.
We're never doing that again.
We aren't. But we hope you enjoyed the Exiled series. It was something that was an honor to take part in. And, I've had a lot of honors being on Christian's YouTube channel, and very grateful for yet another opportunity he's given me. But that's enough about me.
These two inductees, I'm telling a quick story. These guys were initially supposed to be part of the Exiled series. They were actually portraying people who would have found me in Manitoba. I was going to be in Manitoba. These two guys, two good friends of mine, Cullen, Shaluk, and Joe Blowatt. I will say right here, they weren't able to submit acceptance speech videos, so I will be speaking on their behalf. But I will also say what the idea was they would discover me, kind of Luke Skywalker style. They'd be the ones to help convince me that I was being an idiot. The reason I selected them is because it would seem like two random people, but they were actually two big fans of mine who discovered me and realized I'm not being the person that they looked up to. That's the thing. You got to watch out with what you do. Choices you make in life really have really bad consequences, depending on what they are. And what I want you guys to know is that Cullen and Joel each have suffered a lot of stress in their personal lives, trying to figure out what they want to do, or at the same time struggling just to get through a single day. And for a lot of people, that's a really tough thing to do. It's just that, I struggle with that a lot too myself. Josh would know. Outside of YouTube, he's closer to me than anyone else, aside from my family. But he is my family.
It's true.
Whether it's like trying to figure out what they were going to do with their education, their families, or anything else that they wanted to do, Cullen and Joel, they always remain good friends with each other, stayed in contact. They're honestly kind of similar to how Josh and I are. So that's why I think it's fitting that Josh and I are both here to present them with this optimistic Hall of Fame induction. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is the acceptance speech that I will give on behalf of Cullen Shaluk and Joe Blowatt, the first two inductees of the 2021 Optimistic Hall of Fame.
First, I want to start by apologizing for not being able to make a video. Life is really busy, but I want to thank Christian Maracle for giving me this honor. It's a great feeling to be part of the Optimistic Hall of Fame. Christian has been a great friend to me for years. We've had a lot of fun when we hung out, and he always knew what great things to say. I am honored to be an Optimistic Hall of Famer, and congratulations to everyone else in this class. Thank you. Life can be rough. Things don't always go the way you plan. I can relate, and so can Christian. But what honestly matters the most is putting one foot in front of the other, even if it hurts to walk. Christian has been a great inspiration to me, to Cullen, and of course to his fan base. He gives great words of wisdom and helps others when they need it, and I've done the same for him over the years. So I want to thank Christian for inducting both myself and Cullen into his Optimistic Hall of Fame. It's truly an honor.
And boom! They deserve that very much.
They do. And Cullen, Joel, congratulations on being inducted. You guys definitely deserve it. You've shown throughout the years that your optimism has kept you going, and you honestly deserve this induction very much.
Just make sure always to keep that hope alive in any situation.
And that just doesn't go for those two, that goes for all of you.
Indeed. Everyone watching this, which is hardly anyone because I'm a dead channel now. In a way, I'm not as popular as I used to be.
But you still have a ton of people who support you.
And that means the world to me, even if it's just a small crew that fill up a bingo hall.
That is fair.
Well, with that being said, we are going to move on now to the first Optimistic Award. And we're talking almost the same thing that always pops up first in my history, which is being a loser in the Losers Lounge. That's me. And this guy was actually on a Losers Lounge podcast this year.
I was.
Yeah, we talked Crown Jewel 2021.
Yeah. That... I completely forgot about that until now for some reason.
That's okay. You've been going through a lot of stuff already in your life. So if you forgot about a single podcast, which, by the way, folks, this guy's podcast got canceled too.
Unfortunately, Joe, my co-host, and I, we both got super busy with our lives, so we were unable to continue. But maybe we'll bring it back someday if we can ever, get back on the right track as far as that is concerned. But that's the least of my concerns right now, as I'm going through some stuff. But I'm confident everything will work out.
And big shout out, of course, to Optimistic Hall of Famer Coach Joe.
Yes.
Who was inducted last year and said a hell of a speech.
Tell you what, 2 years in a row he gave amazing speeches.
Yeah, he did. He was the 2019
Optimistic
Empire Member of the Year.
Yep. And then, of course, being inducted into the Hall of Fame in my class last year. And really quickly, I want to touch on this. Last year, my class, pretty much everybody in that class I have some sort of connection to. So that was very special to me. So.
Yep. From Allie to the Colonial Weirdos to Desmond Johnson to my late Auntie Ayana Maracle to Coach Joe to Wilna Mates. Josh has had a connection with all of them, so that's why 2020's class still remains my favorite. But at the same time, we got a really good class in front of you. But before we get to the next inductee, we mentioned going back to the Losers Lounge because we are starting things up with the Losers Lounge episode of the Year Award. And this year, when it comes to the Losers Lounge, my crew and I, Double Wrestler Ryan, the Heelist of Ballers, Connor Riley as well, gathered around. We talked about things, whether it was WWE pay-per-views, and we even brought back AEW podcasts. Because we figured, let's keep talking about AEW because it's fun to do. That's amazing. And, well, the 4 inductees for this case are these ones right here. You may want to stand back. These words can really hurt you if they touch you. All right, so be careful. Don't have to be off camera. Boom. What do you think? Great choices?
Great choices.
Or would you take that one out?
Maybe I'd take that one out.
What are you talking about? That one was legendary. I mean, it was funny. We had like a few good hilarious quotes here and there. I like this one the best, though.
Oh, we'll have to see which one is the winner.
Well, actually, let's find out. Because as a matter of fact, Josh, I will allow you to give us the winner.
And the winner of Losers Lounge episode of the year is... Drumroll, please.
I didn't bring my drum.
Oh.
Good
enough. All out predictions.
Oh! All out predictions. I enjoyed that one. My favorite moment on that, honestly, was when I was constantly messing with Willie about Miro and Eddie Kingston.
That was really hilarious.
All that stuff was improvised, and
as the podcast is.
Everything on the podcast is improvised. It's just I did not think we would come up with that much hilarious jokes in the span of 3 minutes. And that's why it was honestly one of my favorite episodes that we've done. Next, of course, the WrestleMania week predictions, which, Josh, you remember, went on for 6 hours and 40 minutes.
Wow.
Could you even have done that yourself?
Nope.
You could barely have gone through a 2-hour podcast that we did.
Yup.
And yet, we did one for 6.5 hours.
And major props to you guys for doing that. That's something that I know I wouldn't be able to do. I'd probably be asleep after the first 3 hours.
Really? You'd be asleep.
No, I'm just kidding.
But at the same time, I probably think your chops wouldn't do well, especially since you use your chops for your musical instruments.
But regardless, I wouldn't have the time to be able to do a 6.5 hour podcast.
Yeah, not a lot of people these days have time to hang out for a quarter of a day
That is
and
true.
do that. Well, speaking of Losers Lounge, our next award is another one of my favorites, the Losers Lounge Guest of the Year.
We have had plenty of, well, I guess you have had plenty of guests.
I was about to say, dude, you were just one of the guests.
That is true.
You don't exactly go on my podcast. You were on there one time as a guest, or that time last year when you broke into my podcast. You ended up winning the award for that.
I mean, hey, what can I say? The people love me.
Yeah, very nice. Get that smirk off your face.
Regardless, they've had plenty of guests over the years, including myself, and it's been very entertaining to see many of their guests appear on the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, take a look over here as we will once again avert your eyes to this side. Oh, you're going to throw it this time? Show us the nominees for the 2021 Losers Lounge Guest of the Year.
Boom!
Josh, those are Queen songs.
Really?
Those are Queen songs!
Oh, fuck.
You had a list for Queen Song of the Year? They
I'm
don't
sorry.
make new music anymore.
I know, but their music is good.
Their music's good. It's fantastic. I understand that, but that's not what we're looking for here. Get out of here. Get moving. All right. This is what we actually need. See? There.
Christian!
What? Look.
That's a
those,
list of Harry Potter films.
Those... Oh. You took it away from me, didn't you? Give it to me.
Nope, I get one more
Give
shot.
it to me.
I get one more shot.
Fine, one more shot. I swear to God, if it shows up your favorite pornography magazines, then I'm gonna kill you.
I don't even watch porn.
Yes, you do. All right. Come on. Hopefully this works this time.
Ooh, boom. There we go.
There we go. That's
Much
exactly
better.
what we need. Folks, these are the 4 nominees for Losers Lounge Guest of the Year. I am so sorry for what Josh did earlier. And look at that. Speaking of, there's your name.
Yeah.
They all look really good.
They all.
But there's only one winner. Since you introduced the last one, I'll do it
You
this
get
time.
to introduce the next one.
Folks, the winner of the 2021 Losers Lounge Guest of the Year is... Jimmy Steele! Jimmy Steele took part in his first podcast. Here's the thing, this is actually really interesting fact. Jimmy's first podcast was the 6.5-hour podcast for WrestleMania. Could you imagine being on the Losers Lounge for the first time ever, and that's what you're doing?
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it my 20th time, probably.
Yeah. I must
Major
say-
props to Jimmy for doing that.
Absolutely. Jimmy, congratulations. This definitely must have felt like a fantastic moment. It's always great when we finally honor people for great things that they've done. And he was really chill. Like, there were times where he mentioned he didn't know much about NXT, but yeah, he still partaked in a lot of things, and he actually managed to put his input in really good. To the point where the rest of us were like, this guy really knows what he's doing. And here's the thing, Jimmy, I know you're probably watching this. The Losers Lounge would definitely love to have you back for another podcast, maybe sometime in 2022. As of right now, as you know, our next podcast is for NXT War Games, which is this upcoming Sunday. We're already filled up for that one, for the predictions and the reviews. But hey, we could probably think about bringing you in maybe for a Royal Rumble, maybe for a Day 1, maybe for another WrestleMania. This next WrestleMania is going to be a major one, so that's going to be good. Okay, Josh, you know what it's time for? It's time for the next Optimistic Hall of Famer induction.
All right.
This next one is actually the guy I introduced in 2020 as the first recipient of the Optimistic Hall of Fame. And so, the first person that I announced at the end of the 2020 Hall of Fame class was none other than a good friend of mine who's from nearby Toronto. And his name is Darryl Carter. Darryl is a guy who I first met at NXT TakeOver Toronto in 2016. He was one of my biggest fans. He was really chill. He was fun to hang out with. We celebrated together when Mickie James made a return to WWE as she took on Asuka for the NXT Women's title. Of course, that match didn't exactly work to Mickey's favor. Neither did her return to WWE.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Hey, Josh, you got a trash bag I can borrow, by the way? Wow. But Darryl was a really cool, chill guy, and ever since that day, I kept in contact with him. We talked here and there. We got to see each other every now and then. Josh actually got to meet him in 2019 for SummerSlam up in Toronto.
Yeah, really cool dude. Darryl, I know you're probably watching this. It was an honor meeting you.
Yep. And we gotta say, like, there's been so many cool things that we've seen from a lot of these inductees. Darryl is a guy who not only enjoys wrestling, he also enjoys hockey. From what I understand, actually, he went from Toronto and Ottawa back and forth attending Maple Leafs games.
And that's really cool.
Those cost a lot of money, you know.
You know, I'm a big fan of sports, some sports as well. Usually, my family and I get season tickets for UVA basketball games. For those of you who don't know what UVA stands for, it stands for the University of Virginia, who was the 2019 national champions in college basketball. But anyways,
Of course. Hey, what else happened in 2019?
2019, the Washington Nationals won the World Series.
Yeah, what else? Nobody cares about the Nationals. When it comes to sports teams.
Oh, yeah, but nobody cares about the Toronto Raptors.
What?
I'm just kidding. His Toronto Raptors won the NBA Finals, and that was a really fun
For the
NBA
first
playoffs
time
to watch.
ever.
That is true.
That was
And they deserved it. Hell of a moment for them, hell of a moment for the city of Toronto.
Yeah, here's the thing. 2019, like I mentioned, was a great time for not only myself when it comes to basketball, but also for Josh. So, 2019, hell of a year.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. UVA, of course, my brother went to UVA, so that's why we support them. Won the college basketball national championship. My high school won the state championship in basketball that year as well. So just overall a great year for basketball. And of course, I was rooting against the Warriors and supporting Christian's Toronto Raptors in the NBA Finals, and that turned out in our favor as well.
Mm-hmm. So it just goes to show, being a fan of sports actually gets you going, even if things are really tough. Darryl has, there have been times Darryl and I, we've talked with each other this year about struggles that each of us had gone through. We've supported each other a lot. And for Darryl, attending these games also really did a lot for him. Because, you know, it's just like me going back to attending wrestling shows. Like, I've been going throughout since September. I've been to Chicago, Columbus, Rochester, here in Newport News.
Sure.
I have Toronto coming up, potentially Buffalo. I'm going back to Dallas, Texas, and I may consider going Nashville, Boston, Baltimore, Pittsburgh in 2022.
It is true. And actually, at the time of this recording, in the past 2 weeks, I've been to 3 wrestling shows, those 3 being my first 3 since the pandemic began. And they were in Norfolk, and Norfolk.
Yeah. Your first time being back at VCW, first time being back at SmackDown, and Josh's first ever AEW show.
Of course, which was also attended by
me. I'm the one who brought him in. I introduced him to the Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and now AEW. I gotta introduce this guy to WrestleMania one day.
Man, Survivor Series. We gotta finish the Big 4.
We have to. Now, unfortunately, Darryl was not able to put in an acceptance speech, and that's okay. You know, a lot of people are really busy with their lives.
Indeed.
And so I always say, if you're unable to put in a speech, then I will speak on your behalf. Except for this guy's case, last year, I literally traveled to Virginia to record his speech 4 to 5 months prior.
That is true.
Because I was seeing him in that summer, and I was like, why not? You could clearly tell the difference because I didn't have my blonde hair at the time. I do now, though.
Yeah, I believe you got it last year, shortly after you returned home from Virginia.
It was actually 2 months later, but yes,
2 months later.
September of 2020, I look sexy and blonde. So, ladies and gentlemen, I wrote an acceptance speech on behalf of Darryl. So, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at the induction of 2021 Optimistic Hall of Famer, Darryl Carter.
Thank you, Christian, for selecting me as the first announcement into this Optimistic Hall of Fame class. You are an amazing guy who's helped me get through life's tough situations, and I hope I've done the same for you. I've known Christian for 5 years now, and his motto, Think Optimistically, is no doubt an inspiring catchphrase. I've always made sure to not let life keep me down, and I hope everyone else does the same. I will continue to move forward with optimism and be ready for what's to come. So I want to thank Christian once again for the honor of being an Optimistic Hall of Famer. He's a great friend, and I'm proud. Thank you very much.
Boom! What a great induction. You deserve it, Darryl. Hope you're doing great, man. And I'm glad that you've joined the list of the Optimistic Hall of Fame.
Almost brought a tear to my eye.
Indeed. But nothing makes you cry.
That's true. Anyways, up next we have...
One last Losers Lounge Award.
And of course...
That one
is...
the Losers Lounge
Member of...
the Year.
See, we can finish.
Each other's sentences.
Because we are...
brothers.
And the...
O-B's. This is awkward. It's okay though. Being awkward at times is honestly what makes a brotherhood powerful.
And it's not just what makes a brotherhood powerful, and that's just showing that we are human. And, you know, I think everybody has their awkward moments. So...
Yep. So, on behalf of the Losers Lounge, I would like to say thank you as I accept this award of being the 2021...
Christian, you didn't win.
What?
You're not the Member of the Year.
What are you talking about?
Are you even a nominee?
What? I'm in the Losers Lounge. How the hell am I not a nominee?
Well, let's just double check that.
I'm not on the list. Why am I not on the list? Why is there only 3? What the fuck?
Huh.
Josh, you rigged this, didn't you? You rigged this, didn't you?
Okay.
Oh, much better. Oh, God. Are you good? Easy.
I'm good.
You sure? How about now?
We just crossed that name off the list. There we go.
Get out of here.
All right. So, as you can see here, the 4 nominees for Losers Lounge Member of the Year. And...
like I mentioned before, on behalf of the Losers Lounge, I would like to accept this award for myself. And
he didn't win. Anyways, the winner for Losers Lounge Member of the Year in 2021 is... Reister Ryan.
Really? I've not once won this award. Gil Ballard won it twice.
Yeah.
Connor won it last year, and now... That's okay, though. Ryan is not only a 2019 Optimistic Hall of Famer, he's also the 2020 Optimistic Empire Member of the Year. And now, 2021 Losers Lounge Member of the Year.
Congratulations,
I think he's the
Ryan.
first one to actually do all 3 of those.
Well, of course, I can't do all 3 because...
You're not part of the Losers Lounge. The only one who's close now is Gil Ballard and Connor.
That is true. But regardless, congratulations, Ryan, on winning this award. Of course, you're one of my good friends, and I'm really happy for you.
Absolutely, man. We all miss you. I know you've been busy with a lot of stuff going on. We at the Losers Lounge, we love you, and we know that you've been going through some struggling times. But look on the bright side. Just on the very case, unless COVID-19 does something again, or something else does something again, it'll be great knowing that I, Connor, and Ryan are returning to WrestleMania in Dallas, Texas in April 2022. We got our tickets for both nights of the show. The Losers Lounge is finally uniting, or at least 3 members of them.
Indeed, and I hope you have a hell of a time at WrestleMania with them. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it this year, but someday we will be able to go to WrestleMania.
2020 and 2021 were not good years for us. We tried for Tampa Bay.
Unfortunately, we even had the tickets for WrestleMania 36, but of course, the pandemic started, COVID-19 prevented us from going. But, you know, that is okay. We've learned to be optimistic throughout those times.
Optimism.
And think optimistically.
Correct. But on another brighter note, joining the Losers Lounge, he may not be sitting in the same place as us, but he will also be at the show. 2019 Optimistic Hall of Famer, FGC.
Indeed.
My good brother, who I met the day after WrestleMania 32 in Dallas. This is going to be his first WrestleMania. So, we have a lot coming up in store in 2022.
That is true.
Not just with wrestling, of course. Movies, video games, series. A lot of great ideas in store. For Josh, he's assuming it's okay for me to let them know.
Go ahead, yeah.
Josh is taking a semester off of his college to figure out what he really wants to do. He's been struggling a lot, but he's going to use a good portion of 2022 to figure out his future. And for that, we're going to need your help, guys. We're going to need your help to keep giving him as much love and support as you can give him, because these type of things are challenging for a lot of people who are college students. I'm pretty sure some of you who are watching this right now probably have been to college, probably been in the same situation, or you're probably thinking of being in the same situation where you're trying to struggle. Josh, what advice would you give them about that?
You know, it was a very difficult decision for me to make as far as not returning to Christopher Newport University next semester. But I really need to do that to take the time off for my mental health. So what I'm just going to say is do what's best for you, do what's going to make you happy, because that's what matters in the end is your happiness.
Yep. Here's the thing. What you always need in that situation is a little bit of humor. You just need to get some comedy. Sometimes you just need a little laugh on some things, right?
And
Funny.
not just comedy. I may be a music major, and music may be what was stressing me out a little bit at college, but listening to music always helps. So make sure you guys listen to some of your favorite tunes. Put yourself in a good mood.
Yep. Do something that really helps calm yourself down and keep your mind flowing forward. And that's always important to do. And speaking of humor and comedy, Josh, I know I'm not talking about your horrible improv. I'm just kidding. He was actually not that bad. He was really bad. What?
That was horrible, I'm not gonna lie.
Don't worry, you'll be fine. But speaking of, folks, that's this next award. 2021 Funniest Moment of the Year. And I will admit, 2021 I didn't exactly upload as much videos as I normally did. And that's unfortunately due to the fact that my mental health took a huge toll on me this year. It's just like it did in 2020. And there were a lot of moments where I was reconsidering a lot of things. I didn't want to be around. I didn't know if I wanted to keep doing this and that. But of course I spoke with my Losers Lounge. I spoke with other friends, and I spoke with my brother here. You guys all believe in me. Josh believes in me. Sometimes that's all we can really ask for.
That is true.
But despite the short amount of content I made, I still had a lot of funny moments in store.
And what I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know really quickly, because we are speaking on this, if you're ever feeling upset, if you ever need somebody to talk to, you can always reach out to me or Christian. We're both here for you guys. We both care about you.
And we may not answer immediately, but we will try our best to get back to you.
Indeed.
I've actually done that a lot of times with people. So, ladies and gentlemen, here are the nominees for 2021 Funniest Moment of the Year.
Holy shit! My fucking sin counter's on fire! Somebody get a fire extinguisher! Eddie Kingston. Son of Kofi Kingston.
No, there's no. It's Miro going against Eddie Murphy. No.
All those reactions were exactly my reaction to DX.
What chance? Oh my kill switch, that shit is funny.
Okay, you got to admit that was funny.
Yeah, some of those moments I completely forgot about. And just seeing them again just made me laugh hysterically.
Yeah, it was causing me to rethink having you here as a freaking co-host, but it's okay. The winner of the 2021 Funniest Moment of the Year is DX messes with my microphone.
That was quite the funny moment.
It really was.
Yeah.
I was singing the segment from Raw in 2006, one of D-Generation X's funniest moments ever, when they were in the production truck and they messed around with the audio all night long, especially when Vince McMahon was talking about them. Damn it, you people think this is funny?
Not only did they mess with his microphone, but they also... Didn't Vince McMahon love cocks?
Pretty much indeed. D-Generation X brought me a rooster. The implication being that I love cocks.
And tell you what, D-Generation X one of the funniest groups in WWE history, and
apparently their power goes even beyond WWE since they managed to get into my production truck and mess with my audio. So thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that.
it's okay. I look at it as an honor.
Why would I look at it as an honor? They embarrassed and humiliated me.
They've embarrassed and humiliated a lot of people.
Yeah, but I'm Christian freaking Maracle. You can't humiliate me.
Okay, but now you're on the same level as Vince McMahon.
Wow, you want to go that far? You want to say that I'm messing up Monday Night Raw every week? You want to say I'm screwing up the writing and releasing hundreds of wrestlers a year?
Nah, you can never be on that level. Anyways.
Exactly. Oh my god, you are so weird. But ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the next Optimistic Hall of Fame induction. Another good friend of ours. He was not only just part of the Losers Lounge, but he's been a good friend and supporter of the channel for many years. And this is a guy, he's funny, he's entertaining, he's awesome. And whenever he needs to tell you that you're fucking up, he'll tell you that you're fucking up. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our good friend, Keshawn, also known as Kmoney. He also has his social media, though. He calls himself Black Negan. You know who Negan is from Walking Dead, right?
I don't watch Walking Dead.
Oh, well, he's a guy with, the Lucille bat. The barbed wire bat.
Gotcha.
McFoley style.
Anyways.
Yeah, McFoley style. Either way, though, honestly, Josh, Kmoney. What do you think of the guy?
Kmoney, it's been a while since I've spoken with you. I hope you're doing all right. But honestly, one of the funniest guys that I've met. He jokes around a lot, always brings a smile to many people's faces, and, has some of the most hilarious reactions on even some of my Instagram lives.
Yeah. Speaking of Instagram Live, we've not done that in a long time.
You haven't.
What's happened to us? We don't even do TikTok either. We never did.
Imagine doing TikTok.
Oh my god. That'd be weird. But, of course...
Well, not as weird as having OnlyFans.
For the record, I needed the money, Josh. Okay? You know this. And honestly, you once told me you needed the money too. So that's why I told you we come up with the idea known as OB fans.
Yeah, I know, and I've really thought about that idea. But I just don't think that it would show off my good side.
What are you talking about? I've seen your good side. I'm looking at it.
That is true.
I think the other reason why the term OB fans didn't work out is because people take a look at that and automatically assume we're talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi. So, didn't work out.
Yeah, but Obi-Wan Kenobi is a legendary Star Wars character.
And we're looking forward to this series in 2022 on Disney Plus. So go ahead and subscribe now, folks.
That is true, but back to what we were talking about.
Kmoney, you're a great friend, a great supporter. You really deserve this. And he also sent an induction acceptance speech. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Without further ado, our good friend, Kmoney.
Well, here we are. The Optimistic Hall of Fame. It's crazy that I'm actually doing this speech because I never thought I was gonna get a chance to be a part of something like this, And all I can say is thank you, Brother Maracle, and the rest of the Losers Lounge. Especially my big brother, Hill Balor. I never thought I would be here. And, you helped me do a lot, Chris. You really did. You really did. And there's actually a story that I would like to tell. I guess you could call it like a story of I guess you could call it a story of redemption, I guess. Back in high school, I was down in the dumps, you know? And I actually made an attempt on my life, and I don't know if you can see, you know, it's a wound, and Christian actually saved me from it, because even though he doesn't know what he did, he saved me, and I just have to keep thinking about his catchphrase, because it's not just a catchphrase, it's a way of life, you know. Think optimistically. Whenever shit looks bleak, always think optimistically, and that saved me. That really saved me. And ever since then, I've been thinking optimistically every time life just threw a damn curveball at me. Like, from my depression to my mental health, you know, constant arguments with friends of mine. Almost lost a few friends. Hell, I have lost a few friends. And losing my grandpa. Really miss that man. Even back when I was younger, losing my brother on my dad's side, losing my cousin when I was in 8th grade. Shit was hard, man. Ever since I found Chris, I found his channel, I've been still thinking optimistically. And I still am to this day. And then there's my crew. The crew that we get together and watch wrestling every week. You know, the guys like TJ, Beast, Antoine, Leo the Phenom, and of course, Heel Balor. Without them, I don't know where I would be, honestly. With some with my personal life going on and everything, and and all the good stuff that happened too, like me and them, my TikTok blowing up at a high rate, being a very beautiful woman. You know who you are. You know who you are if you're watching this. Me and new friends down the road, like Austin, Lizzie, Amanda. Even though we always get at each other sometimes, we would get at each other sometimes. Sock Monkey Mike, even though we always roast each other, you know. And to that special person in question, stuff looks bleak. But like Christian says, think optimistically. Don't let that negativity weigh you down, you know. And don't worry. I'll see you soon. And I'll give you a hug and I'll tell you, it's all gonna be fine. It's all gonna be okay. I love you. And I still remember the day Christian on Skype was like, he says to me, he says, so do you want to be on the Losers Lounge? And I'm like, what did you just say? Do you want to be on the Losers Lounge? He said. And I'm like, Yeah, man. Yeah, man, I'll be down to be on the Losers Lounge. And of course, the rest is history. You know, made on the Losers Lounge a number of times. And then one other time where we got fucking obliterated by Retribution. I still can't believe how that happened. And you know, me being a handful of others being, you know, security guards for the lounge. And of course, we made history at it. We made history on the WrestleMania podcast episode. Speaking of that, I got some more friends to thank. Jimmy, appreciate you, little dude. Of course, you, Alexander. Especially you, my man. And how could I possibly forget about all the homeboy Steve? Been through thick and thin with him. Have you seen this, man? I love you, my brother. I love you, brother. And of course, the WrestleMania podcast. We made history on the. We made history. Longest one I've been on. Not even a question. It's like not even a discussion. But that's the longest one I've been on, and the most fun. Longest Losers Lounge episode of all time. Think about that. Of all time. And obviously all my TikTok followers. You know. And Chris, I just wanted to say thank you for saving me. Even though you probably don't even know that you did. But you did. That special person in my life. I love you. You know who you are. You know who you are. And who knows? I'm probably not even the first one to say that. I know for a fact I'm not the first one to say that you saved them. But you really did, man. With your moniker of thinking optimistically. Speak away from my name. I'm probably not even the first one to have the name. I'm not even number 2. I'm not even number 3. You know? And to Will, thanks for bringing me on, man. Without you, this wouldn't be possible, so. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
What a speech.
Congratulations, Kmoney, one of my good friends. You deserve this without a doubt.
Yep. And, as always, the Losers Lounge also looks forward to the next time you're going to be on our podcast because you're entertaining as shit.
He is. And, I definitely suggest that he be on more of your podcasts because, he is an amazing character.
He really is. My favorite one was when he was ranting on the Sasha stance from WrestleMania 37. That was a hell of a rant!
Wow. Yeah, man can really bring a smile to people's faces. He can be very humorous at times. However, he is also someone who knows a lot of crap about wrestling.
So don't fuck with him. And don't fuck with us. And speaking of wrestling, Josh, and attending stuff, the next award is the 2021 Vlog of the Year.
Wow.
For the first time, here's the thing. I didn't have a Vlog of the Year category in 2020.
I mean, what could we really do in 2020?
You want me to vlog myself walking around my house? I'm in quarantine for a few days. This is not working, and I don't even know why I'm Russian.
And that just shows how much 2020 was not a great year, but the important thing is we got through it.
Yeah, in 2020, could not really attend wrestling shows. We could not go out to movie theaters. We could not go out to stage plays, open bars for the longest time. We could not do this. We could not do that. We had so much restrictions in place. it was honestly one of the most toughest things to ever get through because it's something out of your control and there's nothing you can do about it.
That is true.
I will say one of the coolest things that 2020 ever produced was the Fall Guys video game.
That is true. Something that Christian and I have enjoyed playing. We still play it to this day.
We do.
With some of our good friends.
And while a lot of people don't play it anymore, I think a big reason of that is because, well, playing alone kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot better when you have a group of friends that you're playing with, as is the case with most video games.
Mm-hmm. And if it hadn't been for the creation of the Colony of Weirdos, I don't think we would have enjoyed a lot of 2020 and 2021.
That is true. So a quick shout out to them for making 2020 and 2021 bearable, and of course being people that we love to have fun with.
Absolutely, very much. So as for vlogs though, it felt so good when I got to finally create vlogs and post them on the channel again, going to places, Chicago, Columbus, Rochester, Newport. I've mentioned that before, but it was such a great feeling to be able to go back on tour.
Indeed.
That's why, what did I call the tour?
It feels good to be back tour.
Because damn, it feels good to be back.
Yes, but which one did you all think was the best?
Well, let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, here are the nominees for 2021 Vlog of the Year.
Those were really fun to look back on for you, I'm sure.
Now, just imagine what life would have been like if COVID-19 never existed. There probably would have been a shitload of vlogs of 2020 and 2021.
I mean, shit, we would have been in Tampa for one of them.
Yeah, I'm very sorry, man.
Hey, it's okay.
I let this guy down, folks. I let my brother down.
Careful. I almost lost my balance.
It's okay. But I let my brother down.
It doesn't matter. You know, I'll get to WrestleMania someday. I'm not that worried about it right now. Of course, 2020 was supposed to be the year, but that's okay. As I mentioned, we'll be there someday.
Absolutely. I will be at WrestleMania next year, and I intend on trying out for California. But until then, that's not till then. Now, Josh, what is the winner?
The winner for 2021 Vlog of the Year is... Drumroll.
Is that close enough?
I'll take it. AEW.
Yep. All Out was the greatest wrestling experience I had ever been a part of. I've been to several WrestleManias, a Royal Rumble, a SummerSlam, 2 Survivor Series, several editions of Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I've been to indie shows. I've been to Impact Wrestling. But that was the first time I was at AEW, and the first time I was at an AEW pay-per-view in sold-out Chicago, where I witnessed the in-ring return of one CM Punk and the AEW debuts of Ruby Soho, Bryan Danielson, and Adam Cole.
Baby!
I bet you wish you could have seen that.
Yeah, that would have been a hell of a show to attend. But, you know, I'm really glad that you were able to go and witness all of those things, you know.
And, you know, I still have a question to this very day. There was a question on my sign. Are licking doorknobs illegal on other planets? I've been trying to ask Chris Statlander that. She never got back to me.
If you're watching this video and you have a Twitter account, tweet Chris Statlander and ask her this question. We need the answer.
Are licking doorknobs illegal on other planets? Because if anybody knows, it's her.
Exactly.
But, and Josh, you were also at an AEW show.
That is true. And that was one of my favorite wrestling experiences as well. You know, obviously didn't have as many memorable moments as All Out did. But we did get to celebrate National Cowboy Shit Day.
Cowboy Shit Day. for the new AEW World Champion, Hangman Adam Page. And I will say, it's the reason it was the greatest wrestling experience is not because of the moments of the matches. It was because of the energy of the audience.
Yeah, and I agree. At AEW, that was one of the best audience that I've ever been a part of. Not just for, wrestling, but like in general. Like I've attended many sports games, I've attended concerts, but that crowd was really something else, and I'm really glad that I was able to experience that firsthand.
But now it's time to move on to the next award, folks. We're halfway through the show, and we have the 2021 Sins Quote of the Year. Speaking of, Josh, have you caught up on all my Sins videos?
I've been watching the recent ones. They've been pretty good.
Okay, I'll take that compliment then. I am sorry once again if there's been a lot of lack of Sins videos. Normally I go through like 100 a year. I reached episode 500 in March 2020. I'm still at 500. I'm not at 600 yet.
But he will get to 600 soon. And with the continued support of all of you guys, I know he will get there. And possibly even reach 1,000 someday.
Maybe. Indeed. Depends on what my future is.
But
I have a lot planned out for my future.
As you said earlier in the show, that's the future.
This is now. And Sins Quote, the reason the Sins Quote is because a lot of the most memorable things I've done is come up with funny phrases.
That is very true.
Josh, what has been your all-time favorite Sins Quote of mine?
Copyright infringement.
That's been a lot of people's favorite. I still don't remember. I gotta look back or something on whether or not that won Sins Quote of the Year ever.
Yeah.
Because I know stuff like, oh my kill switch, that previously won.
Who gives a shit about Hulu?
Yeah, Hulu made its return in 2020 when Hulu started sponsoring SummerSlam and Payback, and Josh told me you gotta bring it back just for that one thing.
Yeah, dude, that was great.
I did really good at hyping up, trying my best to ignore it, and then I just couldn't resist it.
Yeah, and that honestly was one of the funniest moments of 2020.
Yeah, I looked at comments and they were like, oh, he actually said it! He said it!
I'm sure a lot of people were excited to hear that again.
Yeah, Hulu, just stay the fuck away from the shows, please.
Anyways, we had a lot of memorable quotes this year, but Here are 4 of the most memorable.
Ta-da! Those were funny stuff. Those are pretty good, aren't they?
That one... that one was okay. The rest of them were hilarious.
Yeah. I think I know which one wins. Of course I know which one wins it. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner, the 2021 Sins Quote of the Year is... USA, USA, USA. The reason that is the winner is because it was not only funny, it was also extremely controversial.
Would you like to explain?
Yeah, it was controversial because the segment I was singing was Donald Trump runs Monday Night Raw in 2009. The video was literally released on the inauguration day of President Joe Biden. And when Vince McMahon shouted, Donald Trump, you're fired, I chanted USA, USA, and removed a million sins. That's why it was funny, yet at the same time controversial, because I knew it would make others laugh and others get severely pissed off.
And as relieving as it was to see Trump get out of office, now I can't stand Biden.
I can't stand him either. Here's the thing, I could never stand him. I just wanted Trump out of there.
That's understandable.
But anyways, yeah, as you noticed, the other reason why I posted that video on that day was not only because I wanted to be funny yet controversial, but also because I did the same thing in 2016. I released the Sins video on the segment when Donald Trump and Vince McMahon signed their contract for WrestleMania 23, and I released that on the inauguration of Donald Trump in 2016.
Indeed.
Actually, it was 2017. That's not real.
Yeah, it was 2017.
Yep. So, it's like I kept tradition going. So, here's the thing. If, God forbid, Trump 2024 happens, God forbid, I may have something up my sleeve to release on Inauguration Day 2025. Although I think I covered a lot of the major moments with Trump in WWE, so...
Oh, that is true. You could always send one of the 2 WrestleManias that was at Trump Plaza.
That is also true. I don't see how that would connect with, a lot of things. I'm sure it was Trump Plaza, but he didn't really do much of anything there.
That is true.
Yeah, it's okay, though. But it's time to move on, folks, to the next Optimistic Hall of Fame inductee. And this one is another great friend who was part of the Losers Lounge podcast several times and who has done a lot of great entertaining things and has been a great supporter. He was even also on the video of when people congratulated me for reaching 100K subscribers. And yeah, since that happened 3 years ago, I've only gained an additional 6,000 to 7,000 subscribers. But you know what? I really don't care anymore. It's not about how many I get. It was never about that. It was never about how many subs I get, how many numbers I get. Because honestly, the numbers don't define you.
Exactly.
Okay?
As long as you're doing what you enjoy doing, that's what matters.
Exactly. And that's why this guy is a definite person who deserves this induction. Take one. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is none other than our good friend, Leo the Phenom. Leo the Phenom. Been on several guest appearances on the Losers Lounge. The most ones he always wanted to be on was Hell in a Cell. We talked Hell in a Cell because he enjoys the concept. We decided to make some sort of tradition. Last couple of years, he didn't make it, but we would make it up to him later. And but let's be honest, though. Yeah, the Hell in a Cell has been way overused in 2021, hasn't it?
That is very true. And, you know, Hell in a Cell, the match is for ending rivalries that are just have went super far.
Edge and Seth Rollins this year. What did you think of that?
I was just going to say that it was a perfect example. And that wasn't even at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. That was a crown jewel.
Yeah, and that's why we did not see it coming at all. Honestly, what did you think when Edge yelled at you, me, Hell in a Cell?
Tell you what, that was definitely one of my favorite moments in WWE. And honestly, one of my favorite matches produced by WWE this year.
Yeah, that match was amazing. I enjoyed it. I'll even look back on it because it was that damn good.
The match of Crown Jewel 2021, without a doubt, in my opinion.
Yep, and Crown Jewel this year was absolutely amazing. Even better than 2019's.
And 2019 had a hell of a show, too.
2018 is not easy to top that. Actually, it's not difficult to top that.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Shut up. I botch all the time. Shut up.
And so do I. It's okay.
But ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the induction of our good friend, Optimistic Hall of Famer, Leo the Phenom.
Hey, Christian, what is up, my guy? Look, thank you from the bottom of my heart for having me be a part of your Optimistic Hall of Fame class of 2021. It really does mean that much to me, considering the crazy years that we've gone through. You know, it's been a rough 2 years, considering from what we started last year. I would say what it is, but because YouTube is a cruel, weird place, I don't want to get your video for the Optimistic Hall of Fame possibly taken down. So I'm going to skip over that. All I do have to say is that this year, 2021, is a bit of a rough one, but you know what? I think it is a bigger improvement to what we had in 2020. And I think going into 2022, it's going to be just even better for us. You know, we've all been able to go to places that we haven't been to in a long time. We're able to see people that we haven't been able to, all because of a pandemic. And you know what? I think we have done our best because, you know what? It's in the name. We stayed optimistic. You know, I can even say that this has been an even better year than I expected, you know. I've been able to connect with my friends a lot more, including you. I've been able to talk with more family than I was able to last year, do things that I wasn't able to, like go out, the places, movie theaters, you name it. Heck, I was able to go to 3 wrestling events this year, including WrestleMania. So, you know what? I have nothing but positive things to say, and I'm keeping my mind more optimistic as we go into 2022. So, you know what? Once again, thank you. I don't know any better way to end the year than being a part of the Optimistic Hall of Fame. So thank you, and good luck to you and everybody else in this class. It's going to be even better for all of us.
Congratulations, Leo. What'd you think of that?
You know, Leo the Phenom, not only one of your good friends, one of my good friends as well.
He was at WrestleMania this year.
That is true. And I've hung out with him on Skype many times in the past, and he's just an all-around great dude. So, very deserving of this induction.
Very much indeed. And now, we're getting closer to the end, folks, so we are moving on to our next award, and this is another one of my big favorites, the WWE Sins of the Year. And despite the fact that there was a low amount of videos this year, there were still quite a lot of entertaining ones.
That is true.
Whether it was from recent events or classic events. One of them, here's the thing, one of them being, of course, I've done, previous events. What did you think, honestly, Josh, when I went back and I said 1985's the Wrestling Classic?
Tell you what, that was an old show. I believe that was the second ever pay-per-view WWE produced after the first WrestleMania, of course.
Yep.
And just seeing you go back and doing that was really cool. And Wrestling Classic was a good show to sing.
Indeed. But so far, folks, I really enjoy doing these videos, even if things have been difficult. But don't worry, I got a lot more coming your way.
Indeed.
So, ladies and gentlemen, here are the 4 nominees to the WWE Sins of the Year.
It's the Wrestling Classic. Tonight, a 16-man elimination tournament. Rumble. WWE tables, ladders, and chairs.
Wow, all those Sins videos were very entertaining. And looking back on them makes me want to go watch them again.
Why don't you go ahead and do that then?
Okay.
Bye. Just kidding, get your ass over here.
Aww.
You can watch them any other time because they're available at any time for your viewing pleasure on YouTube.
Indeed. And now let's go ahead and get right to the winner, which I believe I'm announcing this time. So, the winner of the 20...
I would like to announce that it is none other than... What?
Were you going to announce it? That's what I thought. The Sins video of the year, 2021, WrestleMania 37.
Again. Look back, folks, on every optimistic award show that's ever existed. That year's WrestleMania always won WWE Sins of the Year every single
I mean,
time.
it is WWE's biggest event of the year.
32, 33, 34, 35, 36, and now 37 have won the WWE Sins of the Year.
Indeed.
Wow. Honestly, I'm just waiting for the one time when the one video that's not going to be Sins of the Year is a WrestleMania. Could be a Rumble. Could be a Survivor Series.
Could be a SummerSlam.
It could be a Taboo Tuesday for all we know.
I don't think they'll go back on that pay-per-view. Maybe with NXT. I mean, NXT is on Tuesdays now.
That is also true. But I will also say, folks, whenever I get to Cyber Sunday, I'm going to get y'all involved as well, since that was the theme of the show. Josh, would you like to get involved and write down things?
That would be pretty cool. But we'll get to that when the time comes. Let's focus on the now. And coming up next is, well, something that I am very familiar with from 5 years ago.
And something that's very important to you at the same time.
Something that is a tradition on this channel that has been for the past 5 years. And that is at every Optimistic Awards show, we have an optimistic, well, it used to be Army. It was when I received this award. But now it is the Optimistic Empire Member of the Year.
Yep, the first ever Empire Member of the Year was given out in 2018. My good friend Cullen won it.
Speaking of Cullen,
he's now an Optimistic Hall of Famer.
And once again, congratulations to him. But...
And over the history of those who have been won the award, in 2016, it was none other, of course, than my bro Josh. At the time, he was known as Republic Gaming.
That is true.
In 2017, there was the first time ever there was actually 3 recipients. A good friend's Maison Kentish, FGC, and Adam Stepowski. In 2018, Cullen Shaluk won the first ever Optimistic Empire Member Award. In 2019, Joey Dees, now known as Coach Joe. And last year, for the Losers Lounge, Double R, Reister Ryan. This year, I actually knew for the last few months who I was going to select. And I've kept this a secret from everyone, even Josh. As of right now, he has no idea.
That is true.
Because I wanted to honestly get his reaction, because the person I selected is close not only with good friends of ours, but he's also close with Josh. So I wanted to get his personal reaction, since I figured he's going to be co-hosting the show with me. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the person I have selected to be the recipient of the 2021 Optimistic Empire Member of the Year is a good friend of ours from Australia. His name is Josh Lambert. Okay.
Straightforward.
Here's the thing. We call him AJ. Now you're probably wondering, why do we call him AJ? And that's because he's also part of our group known as the Colony Weirdos.
And there's way too many Joshes in that group.
Yeah, there was so many Joshes to the point where there was a Josh fight this year.
Well, that's an idea. Maybe we should do that, like sumos, like with the Joshes and Cal.
Very nice. There are quite a few of them. But anyways, the words AJ comes from the fact that we call him Aussie Josh, because he's from Australia. Aussie
and he
Josh.
is totally okay with it.
Yeah, we were like, shall we call him Aussie Josh? We sounded catchy, but I'm like, yeah, at the same time, it would be crazy. So I decided, hey, why don't we shorten it? Aussie Josh. We'll shorten it to AJ.
Yeah, and that's something that I've really known him as just the past few months. Well, actually, he's been in Cal for about a year now.
Yeah. The reason why I selected him as the Empire member is not because we're good friends with him. It's because he has shown that in the toughest of times, if there's anybody who had a tough 2021, it was AJ. He really, I'm not going into the details as a respect for his privacy, but what I will tell you is there was a lot of moments, whether he lost people or whether he was losing himself along the way. And when he met up with us, became friends with us, and when he opened up to us about his situations and got a lot of support from us, he really learned how to use the optimism to find his way. Same with you.
It's very true. That reminds me a lot of myself back all those years when we met, 5.5 years ago. But, from one Josh to another, I just want to say congratulations, and I'm really glad that you're able to see the light in the darkest of times. And
we hope that you continue to see the light when you need it.
Of course. And we'll always be here to support you. And seeing you grow throughout this year has been one of the most amazing things that I've experienced. So congratulations, Josh. You really deserve this award. And I'm really happy that you were selected for it.
And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome 2021 Optimistic Empire Member of the Year, AJ, but most known as Josh Lambert.
G'day. Thank you very much, Christian, for this really big honor. I very much appreciate it. This year's been pretty rough. I've lost friends, I've lost family, I've had, bad times. Yes, there were good times, but the bad times just, it has really hurt sometimes, and I'm very lucky to have people in my life, like Christian, Longneck Josh, a few other people at a Colony of Weirdos, Mike, Logan, who have really, really helped me, supported me throughout this quite difficult year. I always thought that it was best to just put a smile on and try and keep going, and that was most of my year. However, when it becomes too much, it's a good thing to reach out. And I'm sure everyone you ever speak to will encourage you to just talk to someone if you need it, if you need help, if you need to to just talk to someone, let it out, vent. That's what I do. Christian listened. It's you don't have to go through it alone. That's something I've learned this year. Yeah. Thank you very much, Christian, for this award. It means a lot. Back to you.
That's the second Josh who's won the Empire Member of the Year now.
Yeah, and like I said before, very well deserved, Josh. Beautiful speech you just gave. And thank you for everything that you've done, because as we've supported you, you've also supported us. So thank you.
And we will see you later on as a part of Cal, obviously, because we're going to gather on whenever we gather on the next gaming session.
That is true.
And now, with that being said, folks, it is time to unveil something very important. We are about to kick in to our final Optimistic Hall of Fame inductee, but before we do that, this is kind of a tradition that I do. It is time to reveal the first inductee in the 2022 Optimistic Hall of Fame class.
And this is also something that I don't even know.
Indeed. So take a look, folks. This is your first look. The 2022 Optimistic Hall of Fame headliner. Gavin Orlandi.
Wow, somebody I've never even spoken to.
Yep, but you have heard of him.
I have heard of him, and I've heard
Even
many great things about you.
As a matter of fact, actually, in case you don't know, for those who don't know, Gavin Orlandi is a guy who had a channel called Gavin21202, now known as Gavin Orlandi. Years ago, he used to play this kid who would always just do reaction videos to things that happen in WWE, and he calls himself Crazy Kid. Crazy Kid reacts to this. Crazy Kid reacts to The Miz beating Dolph Ziggler.
I actually do remember seeing some of that.
Yeah, The Miz beating Dolph Ziggler, and he rages.
Those are really funny to watch.
They were. He went from that to now being a professional wrestler and a bodybuilder. Josh has actually seen his work and his progress.
That is very true, and I'm very impressed with what you've done, Gavin. You're an inspiration.
Yep. And of course, here's the thing. What I also want to say is the reason why I'm excited for this and why he's going to be headlining the show is because I know this is going to be one of the most inspiring stories in the history of the Optimistic Hall of Fame. No disrespect.
None taken.
That's because in 5 years, he went from a kid who was just a little kid just reacting to things happening in wrestling to going about his dream and achieving his goals. He's won awards. He's now wrestling in the independent scenes in Ohio.
And who's to tell where he'll be a year from now when he is inducted?
Yep, I cannot wait for that. He deserves it. Gavin, man, you deserve it. But now, folks, it's time for the final Optimistic Hall of Fame induction of 2021.
Indeed.
And that is one of the recipients of the 2017 Optimistic Army Member of the Year. As a matter of fact, now that I think about it, finally all three will have been in the Optimistic Hall of Fame. FGC, inducted in the Hall of Fame in 2019. Adam, also inducted in 2019. As a matter of fact, Adam was the first ever Optimistic Hall of Famer. And now, Maison Kentish. A guy I've been friends with also for 5 years.
And a guy that I just recently met due to our gaming sessions on Cal, but another guy that never fails to make me laugh. Whether it's just his raging on GTA or Fall Guys or, whatever he does. Just absolutely an amazing person.
He's the type of guy who rages, but it's fun. And he knows it's funny. And he just rolls with it. He's not like a gamer who rages and is just being an asshole and eventually, just gets being disrespectful to other people. The type of people who rage, but at the same time they're like, you know what? Let's make this a gag, a running gag thing.
Yeah,
that's funny
for sure. And
his screams are amazing. If you've seen his videos, which you probably haven't, it's okay.
If you haven't, I highly suggest you go watch them.
Yeah, Maison Kentish. He posts a lot of funny videos, and when he screams, it's so good.
It is.
But of course, I want to say it's the fact he's the closing optimistic Hall of Famer of this class, and that's actually a big deal for a lot of people, for being the headliner. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome 2021 Optimistic Hall of Fame headliner and our good friend, Maison Kentish.
It's a great honour to be here right now in the Hall of Fame. I am shocked. I'm here right now doing this introduction video and speech for you lot. To think 2 years ago I was in the Optimistic Member of the Year and now a Hall of Fame, so it's a great honour to be here, and I thank every single one of you lot. And I want to thank Chris. You know, he's an amazing person. Christian, he's a great person. To think 5 years ago, April 2016, we were first talking and chatting, and we became the best of friends. And he's an amazing guy. I checked on him. I think he was mentally ill, and I checked on him and see if he was alright. And since then, we became the best of friends. When he had his surgery in 2017, I helped him and checked on him and see if he was alright. And I've been through a rough patch of time, you know. There's no secret, we all suffer from mental illness. I suffer from depression, and I get depressed a lot, and I struggle and I struggle. I've been through hell and back, you know, trying to upload videos and trying, you know, family life going on, and you know, you just got to keep optimistic, and you got to just keep positive. You know, as much as you want to be negative, you got to be positive. And Christian gave me some great advice, and he helped me out, and he, you know, he's such a cool guy, you know, such a cool guy, and I thank him so much because he's helped me through a lot. And you know, he's a cool guy. He busts his ass off every time for you guys. He puts his, you know, his mental well-being, and he puts his mind to the videos and try and entertain us lot through hard times, you know. So he's an amazing guy, and without him I would have never got introduced to a thing called the Cow Party, where there's loads of great people that I play Fall Guys and GTA with. People like Amanda, Mike, Josh, Marco, Randall, Ivan, Chris, Josh, Mike, I'm trying to think, Fisher. I'm sorry if I did not say all your names, guys. I apologise, because Javier, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. All these guys, they are absolutely fantastic people. We have a great laugh. Play GTA, fail in heists, rage in Fall Guys, scream in Fall Guys. I am the ragiest person in the group. So yeah, that's me. But they're amazing people, you know, and they deserve some credit. They are amazing people. And I want to just thank all my friends, you know, that I have at school, but I've also made online too. You know, there's some awesome people that I've met. They've been helping me out on my channel. Christian helped me a lot on my old channel. He support me. He also has been supporting me recently through hard times through the videos. Obviously, I've been struggling with videos, and he helped me, and he gave me some great advice. All of them, they're all great people I've met. Great friends, you know. My friends like David Hazard, his name is Southpaw Love Sports, and all these great other people that I, you know, met on here and all that through like Roblox, football, soccer as you call it, group, everywhere, you know. Great people, and it's an honour, you know, to be here. And yeah, I am speechless. I am happy to be here. And my advice is, if you want to do YouTube, it's not easy. It's not easy, you know, being a YouTuber. People think it's easy. You can just do these videos and all that. It's not easy. You know, you've got to put your mental well-being in there, you know, as a YouTuber. And, you know, you got to try and upload consistently unless you are mentally well down. And that's why YouTube is like, you know, YouTube, I've been on YouTube for 9 years. You know, I've been on YouTube longer than, I've been on YouTube since I was 5 years old, and I did videos, cringy videos, I would agree, on my old video, but still wanted to do YouTube, and it sucked that I took time off in 2017. But I came back in 2020 as a stronger person, stronger editing, stronger person, you know. That's what you got to do. If you want to take a break, that's fine. But you remember, you always come back stronger. And, you know, you got to become stronger and stay positive. You know, you got to stay positive. You know, that's my advice. You know, that's all I'm going to say. And last but not least, to Christian, grapes will always be better than bananas. I think it's bananas. Always be better. Always, grapes is always going to be the best. Thank you all. Thank you.
Wow. Congratulations, Mason. That was very well deserved. Incredible speech.
And congratulations to the entire 2021 Optimistic Hall of Fame class. Cullen and Joel, Kmoney, Darryl, Leo. Am I missing anybody? I don't think I am.
I think it's everybody.
Yep, that's everybody. And of course, Mason.
Indeed.
You guys deserve it, and I cannot wait for next year's Hall of Fame class, because this is obviously my favorite time of the year. Doing this December 1st every single year since 2016. Great moment.
Indeed, doing the Hall of Fame for 3 years now.
In Josh's case, it was the first time ever that the Hall of Fame actually closed the show.
That is true. And
before we get to the final award, though, I will ask, aside from yourself, what was your favorite Optimistic Hall of Fame induction?
You know, are you talking about all 3 years? Just
all
this
3
year?
years.
All 3 years. Favorite Hall of Fame induction. Don't get mad at me for the other recipients if you're watching this, but I gotta go with my good friend Coach Joe. He gave an incredible speech, not only in the 2020 Optimistic Hall of Fame, but 2019 Optimistic Empire Member of the Year. And, you know, very inspiring speeches that he gave, and that's something that I always enjoyed watching, and something that has been motivation to me. So that's just my personal opinion.
For me, it was my Anti-Anna Maracle.
That was a hell of an induction.
That went on for 30 minutes.
And you know, you did a great job commemorating her, and
I miss her.
I know you do.
We all miss those in our loved ones in our lives. But hey, it is now time to unveil the final award. It's another big one. It's always the one that ends the show. The 2021 Video of the Year. We've seen a lot of crazy things over the years on my channel. That one Video of the Year. And we were like, yep, that deserved it.
Yeah. And
Last year, the 2020 Video of the Year was none other than our movie, Fate of the Sins.
That is true. And I'm not going to lie. When I saw what won the Video of the Year this year, I was a little surprised.
Oh, you looked through it. Nice. I like it. It's okay. Yeah, this surprised me too, because it's the first time that this would ever happen. And I know other good friends of ours who we're about to mention are going to be surprised when they realize what won the award.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to that, folks, here are the 4 nominees to the 2021 Video of the Year.
How you doing?
Remember these people?
Jeez, I sort of like my face like that.
All right, how about this then?
They were deserving.
Yeah,
All that.
incredible videos this year.
Seen from All Out to Mama Miracle to CM Punk.
That is true.
But the winner of the 2021 Video of the Year is the Season 4 premiere of the Losers Lounge podcast, WrestleMania Week Predictions.
And that was a 6.5-hour podcast.
And the first time ever that a podcast video won Video of the Year. That might just show that everything else sucked and they had to choose it by random. But then again, we've seen reaction videos and other things.
That is true. But,
Oh my god.
You know, no matter what, that's what the fans liked. And that was one long video.
It really was. And I will say, folks, I know this award show wasn't as energetic or as big as the ones in the past, but that's okay. That stuff happens. I will see if we can actually make 2022 a better year. I cannot make any promises. We have to just go things one day at a time. I want to let you guys know that I will always be here for y'all. And Josh, I want to say before we close off, thanks for being a co-host for this for the first time ever.
Of course, not really sure how I did. I hope you guys enjoyed it though. And it was an honor being able to co-host with you.
And we don't know when the next time we'll see him is.
Indeed.
But it's okay. I know you guys miss him. I miss him all the time too. But folks, it's now time to close things off. Bro, I always enjoy having you here.
Of course. Thanks for having me co-host.
And now, of course, we close things off by having you guys remember the most important things.
Number 1.
Be optimistic.
Number 2.
Show your optimism.
And number 3.
Think optimistically. Good night, everybody. This has been the 2021 Optimistic Awards and Hall of Fame.